Have you ever looked inside of a computer and wondered how it was built? Well, today I'll be demonstrating to you how you can build your very own computer, and I'll also be educating you about all the parts that are required to build one. My interest in computers began when I was in middle school. One day my cousin came over and actually helped me build my very first one. A reason as to why you might want to build your own computer is because it's cheaper, and you also know that you're not getting ripped off because you know what you're putting inside of your computer. Before you start, you'll need these components: a power supply, a case, a graphics card, a hard drive, a motherboard, a processor, and RAM. The only tool you'll be needing is a screwdriver. You'll also need to be in a place that is static free. The first step in building your computer is by organizing your motherboard. This is what it looks like. The first thing you want to do is to install the processor, also known as the CPU. What it does is that it does all the calculations on your computer. Since mine is already installed, I have built a model in order to show you how to install it. What to do is to raise a retention rod to open up the CPU socket. Then you want to grab your CPU by the sides, but be careful because underneath is going to be a bunch of gold pins. If you bend one of these, it's going to kill the CPU. Then you want to align the two dots that are on the CPU and the CPU socket and just place it down. Then you want to lower the retention rod and your CPU has been installed. Next is to install the cooler. The cooler helps regulate the temperature of the processor with the help of a substance called thermal paste. Thermal paste is usually pre-applied to every cooler that comes with the processor. So all you gotta do is gently place down the cooler on top of the processor. Once that has happened, screw in all four sides into the motherboard, and the cooler and processor has been. After you install the processor into your motherboard, you want to install your I/O shield. The I/O shield usually comes with the motherboard. So all you gotta do is to grab it and just push it into the back of the case. Now that you have done that, you want to install the motherboard. So just push it in, put it into your case, and align it with the I/O shield in the back. Once that is done, just put it gently onto the case, and now you just want to screw it in. Next would be installing RAM. RAM is short-term storage that only stores things that are currently running on your PC, nothing else. In order to install the RAM, you must find these long, skinny slits. So all you gotta do is to open them up through these tabs, line up your RAM, and then push it inside. Once you hear the click, your RAM has been successfully installed. After you have installed the RAM, you need to plug in all of the cables from the case into the respective slots. Each are labeled to help you out. These connect things such as the power button and the fans to your motherboard. Now that you are done with your motherboard, you need a way to create the images onto your monitor. This is where the graphics card comes in. The graphics card translates all the computer data onto your monitor so that you can see it. It also improves the performance on your computer as well. To install your graphics card, you first need to take out two of the back plates, the top two back plates on the back of your case. Then look at the PCI Express slot, which is usually found under the processor. For me, it is right here. Then grab your graphics card and just plug it in. After installing your graphics card, you need a way to store all your data. This is where the hard drive comes in. The hard drive is what stores all your data and all your downloads. To install it, you need to look at your drive bay. Since mine is right here, all I have to do is find the side that has all the ports and just slide it in. And I make sure the ports are outside, facing out. Then all I gotta do is just screw it in. I've screwed in your hard drive. You need to connect it to your motherboard using the SATA cable. So grab one end of the SATA cable and plug it into the hard drive. After that is done, grab the other end and find the SATA port on your motherboard. Since I have 3 drives, I have to do this 3 times. The last and final step to building your computer is to power it using the power supply. The power supply is what connects everything together and powers everything in your computer. To install the power supply, you must place it on the bottom corner of your case right where there's a cutout on the back. Then you screw it in, and don't forget to flip the switch. I know all these cables seem confusing, but it's actually really simple. Most of them are actually labeled, such as this one, the PCIe Express. This is where the graphics card is, so you plug this into the graphics card. This one is labeled CPU. Well, the CPU slot is right here, so you just plug it in there. And these ones are for your hard drive, so you just plug it into your hard drive. At this point in time, you have fully finished building your computer. Today, I taught you how to build your very own computer, and I also taught you what each of the parts do. Building your own computer is very rewarding, and it makes you feel accomplished. It is also a skill that will benefit you for the rest of your life because computers are here to stay.